What's going on, guys? Monero Mateo, how you guys doing? It's getting pretty crazy out there with all of the stuff going on with COVID, all the stuff going on with the bug and the jab. I hope that you guys are staying healthy, staying safe, and staying out of the pharmaceutical grips which are currently coming around us. Like Mitch Hedberg, I think he once said that when he wears turtlenecks, it feels like an old guy's choking him. Like, that's kind of how it feels right now. It feels like we're all wearing pharmaceutical Pfizer turtlenecks at the moment, and hopefully it doesn't constrict even tighter. But we have some news today that I wanted to go over because I think that people are really starting to wake up to Bitcoin and some of these other public blockchains being dangerous things to be in. And when I mean dangerous, I don't mean you hold these things and you're not going to perhaps get some gains, or you're not going to at least have exposure off the system, at least, exposure to the US dollar, which you don't want to have too much of because we all know where that's going based on all the money they're printing and these infrastructure bills, which are like $1 trillion, which means nothing to them anymore. So I think people are starting to look at Bitcoin. They're starting to look at some of these other coins and the bills that they're passing, the new regulatory requirements, the new taxes, the new algorithms that they're coming out with, track who owns which wallet, how much money they have in there, what transactions they're making and with who. And people are looking into this. People are getting inquisitive. And I think we're at the very beginning of people beginning to wake up and say, hey, what are privacy coins? What are coins like Monero about? What's this coin which is totally private? I thought that was Bitcoin. I thought when I bought Bitcoin and I transacted that to people, nobody could figure out about that. See, a lot of people think Bitcoin is what Monero is, and that's not the case. And I think people are going to figure this out, and they're going to go into Monero, they're going to get into Pirate Chain, they're going to get into Darrow, and those coins are doing fantastic today, by the way, and Bitcoin's remaining relatively stable. So we're seeing some interest in Monero and some of these privacy coins. But I wanted to go over some quick news. It looks like, just had lunch. Monero and its transaction volume is going up pretty substantially. Now, I remember back in April, Monero had about a tenth of the transaction volume that Bitcoin did, and now we're up to 17.5%. Now, one of the arguments could be, well, you see, Matt, Bitcoin is digital gold. Of course, Bitcoin's just going to sit there whenever there's great declines in the market. Actually, like 70% of the wallets, they don't have any Bitcoin moving in or out of their wallet. They're just sticking with it. Now, how many of those wallets have Bitcoin which are completely lost? Like that one guy whose girlfriend was mad at him for getting into Bitcoin when it was like, a couple cents. And she was like, you're being so weird about this. And then, I guess he threw away his hard drive and now he's paying... he's like hiring hedge funds to go find it in a junkyard or something like that. But how many of these wallets are missing? How many of these wallets are of people who are dead? So a lot of questions about that. But the idea is Bitcoin's digital gold, so maybe a lot of Bitcoin isn't going to move wallet to wallet. Now, I imagine it will if you have unrealized capital gains taxes come in, if you have wealth taxes become part of the situation, global minimum taxes, then you're going to start to see some activity. But Monero is a cryptocurrency in the true sense of the word. It is completely fungible, which Bitcoin isn't, because Bitcoin could have tainted Bitcoins, which means they're not as fungible as other Bitcoins, which means the entire fungibility of the system is compromised. Monero, because it's completely private, all of the currency is exactly the same, just like dollars. You want a dollar? Cool. Where'd you get this dollar? Did it just come out of a G-string somewhere? Did it just come from, some narco guy? I mean, who cares, right? It's a dollar. It's all trash, but it's still a dollar. And Monero is completely private and fungible. And more people are using this as a currency, and it's faster, it's cheaper to transact than Bitcoin. If you wanted to mine Monero, you can do it on your own laptop, as opposed to Bitcoin, where you need like these rigs. So I think people are beginning to figure this out. And I think Pirate Chain is actually even faster. Pirate Chain is even faster. So let's look at another chart here. And by the way, this guy makes some pretty good points. I would follow this guy, Trace Evader, because he makes some pretty interesting points I haven't thought about before. One of these things being, he talks about tail emission here. Security guarantee in Bitcoin is a much bigger issue than many talk about. Bitcoin cannot be a store of value because you constantly have to worry about having of security guarantees coming up within 4 years. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. I don't really know what that means, but I got to look into that. So he talks about proof of stake here, which I think is interesting in regards to privacy. He says you cannot have proof of stake and privacy at the same time because proving your stake to a network removes your privacy. Private money must be proof of work and thus must have tail emission like Monero. This is interesting. I think this is very interesting. This is very interesting because there's a new privacy coin on the market called PRCY coin, and it's a proof of stake coin. You can mine it using proof of authenticity or auditability or something like that. I was interested in it at one point, but if this point is true, I'm going to have to look more into that. It looks like it was made by a bunch of Russians anyway, so who knows? Not that the Russians are bad, but if you're holding it, the feds are, if it's not as private as they say, you don't want to be exposed to that. But look at this chart. Look how much more transaction volume we're seeing relative to Bitcoin. Look at the delta. Look at the change. We're seeing more and more and more activity in Monero as time goes on. Bitcoin, it looks to have kind of flatlined. And it looks like we're starting to see more change in Monero than we are in Bitcoin. So something interesting. And so we'll just end this short little video by checking up on our favorite currencies. So let's look at Darrow. Darrow is taking off. And if you don't know what Darrow is, it's basically like the private version of Ethereum. So look at this. Just in the last 7 days, we've had significant activity going from about $8 to $12. Right, so that is a good 50% gain. And then let's look at Pirate Chain. How's Pirate Chain doing? Haven's coming back. Haven's coming back. I mean, it was in a little bit of trouble there with some of the hacks that were going on. But it looks like they are issuing a fork, and they're resolving those issues. Pirate Chain's still only at about $695 million market cap. So if we look at the last 7 days, similarly, we're doing pretty good there. Pretty good there as well. Yes. So, yeah, we're starting to see good news from our privacy coins, our lovely privacy coins. And I'll just end this video by saying I am an accountant. I'm a tax accountant. I do crypto tax stuff. So if you have any questions about that, please let me know. We also do bookkeeping. We also do payroll. We do a lot of different things. So if you have any questions about that, if you have any questions about cryptocurrency, if you're looking for advice on anything, please let me know. And let me see if I can go back here. Go big into stretch. Okay, and that's it. Yes, please contact me if you have any questions. Please get into privacy coins because I'm telling you, people are going to figure out just how trapped they are in these coins. We talked about this in previous videos. Go check out my analysis of certain things that are going on in Israel, in China, in the United States. The clamps are coming down on the public blockchains. And if you don't want to deal with that stuff, boom, we've got privacy coins, which make life a lot easier. So you guys have a wonderful day. More content to come soon. Again, this is Monero Mateo. Hit me up on Gab at Gulag Stag. And you guys enjoy your day.